What's going on, team, and welcome back to the 5th episode of the Ep.5 Fat podcast. This one is going to be dedicated towards fat loss. All right, so notice how I said fat loss, not weight loss. Your weight, is literally just your numerical relationship with gravity. That's all it is. Weight can be made up of so many different things. Can be water retention, glycogen, muscle, bone density, fat mass, you name it. All these things affects your overall weight. So when you're looking at the scale, you might have drank a little bit more water that day, or you might have last week you might have weighed yourself in the morning, and the week after you might have weighed yourself in the evening after consuming all your calories during the day. So that's obviously going to skew if your results or to be able to compare the two. I don't usually get people to record their weights and focus too heavily on their weights. If they do, I literally just want a number and then that's it. I do all the tracking and they just forget about it. But usually I don't get them even tracking their weights. It's just how they feel, how they look, whether they like the way they look or not, or like to see improvements or like the improvements they are seeing. And that's it. Literally just focus on the goals inside the gym. Keep crushing your nutrition or your eating strategies, and then it's just time. Time, guys. Time will lose fat for you. Obviously, if you're ticking the boxes and doing everything well. So, how to lose fat? There is literally one way of doing it, and that is to be in a calorie deficit. If you are a newbie, all right, so you are new to training, new to lifting weights, then you can recomposition your body fat. So basically gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. But it's very, very difficult for people that have been training for a little bit longer. And it usually occurs after an injury, so after a period of time where you've taken a step back from training. You're not trained for a couple of months, few months, and then you can recomposition, or there's that little sweet point around the maintenance calories where you can do it, but it happens a lot slower than when you are a beginner. So to lose fat, and again I stress losing fat, not losing weight. To lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. If you're not losing fat and you think you're in a calorie deficit, I will 100% guarantee you're not. You're not in a calorie deficit. You need to consume less calories than you are expending each day. All right. Yes, you can. Like I said, you can focus on the day to day, or you can focus on the weekly. Weekly for me is a little bit too much maths involved. You're calculating way too many calories and then splitting it up 7 days. So I say nail each day. Focus on the day to day. So say for example, this is completely hypothetical, but your maintenance calories is 2,000. There is 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So if you wanted to lose a pound a week or a pound or half a pound a week, then obviously that's the number you would use or base your calculations off. So if your maintenance calories is 2,000 a day, then you might subtract 200 from the food that you're eating. So you're eating 1,800, and then you're also burning an extra 200 from movement, from gym, from extra cardio, from taking the stairs, from the 10-minute walks. All these different things can expend calories. And then again, that would obviously equate to 400 calories in a deficit each and every day. There's three main ways you can reduce or burn calories, and that's or get yourself into a calorie deficit, I should say. So you can move more. So say for example, if you're like me and you're a foodie and you like to eat, then you might not want to take out some food in your day to day. That's absolutely fine, but you're going to have to expend those calories instead of not consume them. So burn it off instead of starve it off. And I would 100% of the time prefer to burn it off rather than starve it off. Personally, my nutrition stays pretty much similar year round. It just depends on my activity level or my how much walking I do in a day. Like when I'm coaching all the time, I'm walking around all the time and I'm picking stuff up and so on and so forth. So basically, I'm a very active individual. But if I've got less coaching hours and I'm doing more programming or more online stuff, then I'm obviously sat down a lot more, and that takes away the expenditure during those days or weeks, and that's when it can affect you. Obviously, you've got your birthday and your holidays and all that sort of stuff, and that's just living life. Don't worry about that. If anyone tries to diet over Christmas, to me, you're a fucking idiot. You know for a fact there's going to be temptation everywhere, and there's going to be family members, friends, loved ones around you, and you want to enjoy the food, enjoy the drink, and enjoy the time over Christmas. And if you're trying to lose weight, like, I just think it's a really daft idea, and you should just focus on enjoying yourself a little bit more and letting loose, and then crushing your goals come the new year. So you can move more, you can eat less. So obviously you starve it off. I use that term very, very lightly, because I'm not saying starve yourself. As we should know, these yo-yo diets do not work. They're called a yo-yo diet for a reason. Once you fire it down, it's inevitably going to come straight back up, and that's when you can develop a little bit of an eating disorder, when you might become a little bit bulimic or anorexic or so on and so forth. So what I would suggest is taking that with a massive pinch of salt, and being strategic with it. I'm not saying, say, we'll use that example of the 2,000 calorie bloke or lady. It doesn't matter who it was. Your maintenance is 2,000. I'm not saying chop it in half because you want to lose loads of weight real quickly. That's not how the body works. It's not just gonna. You can't just snap your fingers and it does what you want it to do. So you have to be pretty gradual and pretty slow with this thing, and then eventually you might have to go again. So if you take away 1,000 calories and then you plateau and you stop losing weight, then where are you going to go? You've only got 1,000 calories in your day, and if you take off another 500, then you're only eating 500 calories a day, and that is absolutely nothing. You can consume more than 500 calories in a fucking Starbucks drink. So it's really not giving you too much room for error, and it's really not giving you or setting you up for success later on down the line. So what I'd say is start off pretty light. Start off with a 200 calorie deficit and just move a little bit more. Do those 3 10-minute walks a day. Take the stairs instead of the lift. And it's just so much easier, guys. Trust me, it's so much easier. You'd rather go to bed feeling full and satisfied, and you know you're getting towards your goals, than go to bed starving and waking up in the middle of the night absolutely craving like this, that, or the other, trying to get all the sweet stuff in you, because that's what will inevitably happen. You'll end up walking past a packet of Oreos, and instead of being able to enjoy 3, you'll end up smashing the entire bag and going back and getting some more. So that's the second way of doing it. You can eat less. All right, so we've got move more and you can eat less. The third thing is you can do both. This is my favourite, doing both. I'm an active guy. I like to move around. I like to be active, and I don't like to reduce my food too much. But having said that, if you just move more, it's going to take a little bit longer, or you're going to have to move a significant amount more. Yeah, and the same thing goes with if you just eat less. It's going to take a little bit longer, or you're going to have to eat a significant amount less. With the both, it makes each one individually a lot easier, and it can also happen a little bit quicker with the fat loss. So, say for example, I'm burning 300 calories more each day, and I'm reducing 300 calories of food each day. That's 600 calories. That's a big chunk to do in a day, and I've only taken out a couple of wraps or like a meal deal sandwich or something. That's it's 300 calories. So they're the 3 main ways of doing it. I would suggest starting off with moving more and then going towards both. So keeping your increased activity level the same, and then also reducing your calories a little bit, so you make sure you are in that calorie deficit. Easiest way to figure it out. There is a fuckload of formulas out there and equations and this and that, and you might go to a macro coach on Instagram, and he might charge you 300 quid to be able to ping in your height, weight, and your age and your gender into some sort of formula. But if you've got some time and you're patient, the easiest way of doing it is tracking your food. I suggest that everyone should track their food at least once in their lifetime. It just educates you of what's in your food and what you're actually consuming a little bit, rather than just eating blindly and then just worrying and complaining, saying you can't lose weight, you can't gain muscle or whatever. So tracking your food, just eat normally, but all I want you to do is record it, and then from there you're going to break it down and you're going to work out how many calories you consume in that day. You're going to do that for 2 weeks. And you're also going to weigh yourself every day for 2 weeks. Yes, I know I had a little bit of a dig at it at the beginning of this episode, but it can be a good indicator. Can be. Not always the best, but it can be. So let me explain. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your weight every single day for 2 weeks, and you're going to take the food you eat every single day, including the stuff you drink and including the sauces you use. A lot of the time people put like barbecue sauce on and drench it in cheese sauce or mayonnaise and shit like that. Like, they've got a fuckload of calories in that, guys. So I'd suggest go for the reduced sugar ones, or the light mayo, or go for brown sauce instead of barbecue because it's got less sugar in it, so it'll be reduced calories and stuff like that. So I'd take those numbers and I'd calculate for 14 days, and I'd also create a weekly average. And if your weight is the same, then you can pretty much guess your average for your calories consumed in that week is your maintenance, roughly. If it's going up, then you can, obviously, it's above your maintenance calories, and then vice versa. If it's going down, it's below your maintenance calories. Some people like to track macros, right? Macros is just macronutrients. Those are the three main food groups that we consume that make up the food, which is carbohydrates, protein, and fat. All right. Make sure this is a touchy subject. Make sure you are consuming dietary fat. Okay. Make sure you are consuming dietary fat. Why? Because it regulates your hormones. So if you've ever gone on these really low fat diets, you probably feel like shit. Your libido probably goes down. You probably don't want to fuck anything. You might be really tired and lethargic. But the same thing happens when it comes to carbohydrates, because carbohydrates is the body's main or primary energy source, and it's what your brain uses for food, for fuel. You know, it uses the glucose molecules. So if you have a really low carbohydrate diet, most people will feel really tired because they've not got that much fuel inside them. Obviously, you do have the ketogenic diet, and people are really benefit from it and really like it. You fucking crack on. You have the high carbs, low fat diet, and people really benefit from that. And again, you crack on. You have obviously keto. I'd say keto. You have paleo. You have vegan. You have vegetarian, pescatarian, and obviously they touch upon a little bit of ethnic ideologies and things like that. And guys, it really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. I'm not touching upon the way you eat, the style you eat, what you eat, or anything like that. All I'm touching upon is fat loss, and that is a calorie deficit. It's not the Atkins diet that's made you lose weight. It's not being a vegan that's made you lose weight. It's not being a carnivore that's made you lose weight or anything like that. That's all bullshit. You are consuming less calories than you are burning. That is simply it. If you want to eat vegan, you eat vegan. If you want to eat like the Atkins diet, eat like the Atkins diet. If you want to be a carnivore, be the carnivore. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't discriminate against anyone else's ideas and it works for you and you're not negatively impacting your health, and you're getting towards your goals, then it's a win-win-win. Like, you are perfect, fine, not a problem. I've actually had quite a few of vegan meals and vegan desserts, and I tell you what, they are absolutely banging. They are very, very good. So before a lot of people, there's still a little bit of stigma around a vegan diet, to be honest with you, and before a lot of people, sort of question it and throw their nose up at it, just have a meal. Like, all you're doing is eating vegetables. It doesn't matter. You'll have your vegetables, I would hope, with your normal meal anyway. And if you don't, then you're a fucking idiot. If you think just consuming, um, a greens powder, or you get all your vitamins from a steak or a piece of chicken, then you are an idiot. Obviously, you do get those people that their blood work is 100% fine and they're just on a carnivore diet or a steak diet or a just white meat diet, and fine, if that works for you, then absolutely fucking crack on. That's absolutely fine. But for the majority of people, we need to eat the rainbow. So we need to eat fruits and vegetables. Basically, fruits and vegetables that make up a variety of different colours, so we're getting a variety of different vitamins and minerals. And if you're not doing that and you're preaching health, and it's like, oh, you'd rather spend 25 quid on a grass fed chicken breast or fucking grass fed piece of steak, and you don't have 50p to buy broccoli, then in my opinion, you're just a fucking idiot. So make sure you are eating your greens and your vegetables and your rainbow and whatever. So that's just a bit of a tangent of, if you want to eat a certain way, eat a certain way. But when it comes to fat loss, it doesn't care what nutrients or what place or what whole foods it's coming from. It sees a calorie as a calorie and it's going to burn it as a piece of energy. So if you're consuming 1,800 calories and your maintenance calories are 2,000, but you're consuming 1,800 calories of Big Macs, McFlurries, and chicken nuggets, that's not going to be much food, but you could do it. You're still going to lose weight. And you're also going to lose weight if you're consuming 1,800 calories of lentils, kidney beans, spinach leaves, and kale. But the thing is, it's all about satiation, so how full you feel. And with eating a Big Mac, I don't know the calories in a Big Mac off the top of my head, but eating a Big Mac and McFlurries and chicken nuggets, that's not going to be a lot of volume of food to make up 1,800 calories. But compared to kidney beans, kale, and all that sort of stuff, because they're very, very low in caloric content. So you can eat a lot more of them to make up a total of 1,800 calories. Again, going off on a tangent. If you did want to use the macros basis, then the easiest way to start is a 40-30-30 split. So 40% of your calories are going to be carbohydrates, because that's where you get your energy from. 30% of your total calories is going to be from fat, and then 30% is also going to be from protein. It's a good way to start. If you like to eat a little bit more protein, then up it a little bit, and then you can reduce the fat or you could reduce the carbs. But it's just a good place to start, guys. And all it is working out for you. Like, everyone's different. Everyone has a different body, and everyone reacts differently to different foods, which touches upon the topic of food allergies. So a lot of people eat a certain way because they're allergic to foods, and there's a lot of people these days that are allergic to a lot of things. I don't know if it's it's a little bit more widespread because of the media is just publicising it a little bit more, or if we're doing something wrong. But it seems like everyone's allergic to something, and they can't digest or eat certain things. Well, that's absolutely fine, but that's going to alter the way they eat. So when it comes to, dairy, for example, I love dairy. I can drink milk till the cows come home, pardon the pun, eat cheese, and I'm absolutely fine. But I know a lot of people are lactose intolerant. I pretty much can digest anything apart from if I have a significant large amount of oats. But that's probably because of the fibre content, and it make you bunged up, and then the next day you're shit for England. But a lot of people are intolerant to some foods, and that's going to alter the way you eat and your grocery shopping, and that's cool. A lot of it you can sort of work it out. If you feel a bit bloated after some food and you don't like it, then work it out. Next time you make something similar, cut out an ingredient and just jot down how you feel. If it's exactly the same, wicked, not a problem. You know that's not the problem or the source of the problem. You can bang it in the time after and you take something else out. It's all a journey, guys, and it's all just working out for yourself. You don't have to eat a certain way to lose fat. You don't have to eat a certain way to gain muscle. Like, you really don't. It's, yeah, you see that, you hear these things, abs are made in the kitchen, and yeah, it's true. Like, if you want to lose fat and you want to be able to see your abs, so have visible abs, and at the moment you don't, that's absolutely fine. You're gonna have to be in a calorie deficit. So yes, it is made in a quote unquote kitchen, but also, like, you do have to train. You know, the abdominal muscles, just like any other muscle, can be, you can cause hypertrophy. You can make it grow. You can change not necessarily change the shape of the muscle. You can't just mold it like clay, but you can alter the shape of the muscle. It's just not like if I gave you a bit of Play-Doh and you can completely change the shape, because genetics do play a factor with the muscle belly and the insertions and how long it is and whatever. But you can always, alter it. Not completely change it, but you can alter it. So abs are made in the kitchen and in the gym. Make sure you are training your TAs, so your transverse abdominis, so your inner core, as well as your RA, so your rectus abdominis, i.e. your six-pack muscles, or the outer core, because the inner core is what stabilizes your lumbar spine. All right, so that lower portion, your lower back, so to speak. It's what stabilizes you, and especially if you do any compound lifts, such as bench and deadlifts, squat and deadlifts, or some lunges, or any unilateral movements where one limb is working absent of the other limb, then you're going to need that stability through your midsection. So you're going to have to train it, and again, just going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it's all valuable. It's all valuable. And then, not lastly, I'll touch upon something that we all like to do lastly, but just before I do, food labels. Like, food labels are great. They teach you what's in it. You can read the ingredients, especially if you are allergic to soy, for example. You read the back of the ingredients, and if it contains soy, then obviously don't consume it, don't eat it. But it also teaches you the calories and the macro breakdown, and we are getting better. The food industry is getting better with this sort of stuff. It's not brilliant. Some of the labels on some products are shit. And what I do is, if you're really conscious about what you're consuming, then don't buy those products. Obviously, if you go to a farmer's market, they're not going to have a food label on it. But at the same time, there's going to be less GMO, there's going to be less herbicides and all that sort of stuff on it. So it would be quote unquote organic. And it's going to be better for you. Weighing the food, that's another thing of doing it. To sort of figure out how much calories you're consuming. But a lot of it, guys, is just being mindful and being aware, and eating the rainbow. Eat a large volume of fruits and vegetables. More vegetables than fruits. If you're not allergic, eat dairy. Or if you obviously have an ethnic issue with it, then don't eat dairy. Not a problem. Same thing with meats. If you're not allergic, or if you don't have an ethnic problem with it, eat meats. If you do, or religious standpoint or whatever, then don't. Get your protein and your minerals from elsewhere. It's absolutely fine. The last thing is alcohol. So, will alcohol affect your fat loss? Yes or no? So, alcohol is a funny one. It technically contains 7 calories per gram. And just to put it into context, carbs and protein contain 4 calories in a gram, and then fats contain 9 calories in a gram. So alcohol is pretty close to the calorie content of a fat molecule. Will it hinder and completely fuck up your diet? No, it really won't. Most of the time, it's the sugary drinks that you have. So you get a mojito with extra sugar and the sherbet around the rim, and you put it with a fucking pineapple slice, which is coated in caramelized, well, whatever. And that's usually where you get most of the calories, and what it's mixed with the fruit juices, and especially if you're going for cocktails and stuff. There are lower calorie options, obviously lower calorie beers. You can go for spirits with like diet sodas instead of full fat Cokes or full fat lemonade or whatever. This lower calorie cocktails like a old fashioned. That's roughly off the top of my head 120 to 150 calories in an old fashioned. So there are ways of doing it to lower your calorie consumption when you are drinking. But then there's also the fact of living life, guys. You've got to live life, and if your way of eating or if your way of training doesn't allow you to enjoy time with mates, it doesn't allow you to enjoy time with family or go to specific events in the year, then to me personally, it's not worth it. Are you a professional athlete? Are you making money and your legacy is based off one event and you have to do the best you can? And if you're in the last 6 to 12 months of going up to the Olympics, then yeah, maybe you might have to not drink and just focus on training, sleeping and eating and mobility. But most of us aren't. Most of us aren't going to the Olympics. That's why it's the Olympics. It's the elite of the elite. So if it's just your lifestyle, like all we're trying to do here is make fitness a lifestyle and make health a lifestyle. If it is just your lifestyle and it's just the way of doing it, then having a drink at the weekend with your significant other or your mates or your family or whatever, then it's not going to kill you. It's fine. You're all right. Obviously, if you don't overconsume, that is. So really, just stay relaxed. Be on it Monday through Friday. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose, then I'd say be on it 6 days a week and enjoy yourself one day. I'm not saying go out and just eat everything and drink everything, because then that's just developing a bad spiral and you've got a bad relationship with food and drink. But I'm saying just enjoy yourself. Like if you wanted to eat a pizza, eat a fucking pizza. If you wanted to go out for a takeaway, go out for a takeaway. If you wanted to drink, have a drink. Just get back on normal, on your diet, on your training schedule, or on both the day after. Boom. One day, enjoy it, bang, straight on. And then we're looking for weekly averages. If weekly averages are going towards your goal, you're sorted. If your weekly average is going away from your goal, you're fucking up. Obviously, if you can't be trusted with that one day and you're an extremist, and as soon as you get a little sniff of enjoying yourself in a day, you're going to be out till 7 a.m. and you're going to have 30 units of alcohol, then you might have to rein that in a little bit, and that's when you have one or two and you cap it. That's when you make healthier pizzas, so use wraps as the base and tomato puree and stuff like that. That's when you be a little bit more savvy with your cooking. But most of you just enjoying it. Be on it during the week. Crush it, as well as your work life and your family life. All right, make sure that work-life balance is correct. And then enjoy your weekend. Don't be so hard on yourself and don't stress out about the little things. You're okay. If everything's going the way you want it, then that's fine. You can take a couple steps back at the weekend. You've taken 5 steps forward. You've already got 3 steps in the bank. So guys, that is Fat loss. Hopefully, there's some knowledge bombs dropped. Hopefully, you can use that to help you out. Obviously, in the UK and in the Northern Hemisphere, we are going into winter. So a lot of us probably don't want to lose fat at the moment because it's getting fucking cold. But for anyone in the Southern Hemisphere, as you're approaching summer, this might be the one for you. So guys, take it easy. Make sure you have a fantastic rest of the day and crush the rest of the week. Work-life balance. Keep that in mind. Work-life balance. As always, it's been a fucking pleasure. Have a great day, and I will see you very soon. Take it easy.